Hello. This is video work that I'm doing to contribute usefully to the world and also to keep myself occupied in life. The situation is basically I've had a brain injury, a quite severe one, I believe, and I've been injured for I think more than a year, but I don't know the details. And even if I did know, I don't remember them because part of the injury has affected my memory. So I basically don't have a memory. That doesn't function. So I'm very confused and lost in life. So I'm doing this as an attempt to find my feet and contribute usefully to the world. Um, I'm not seeking to achieve anything more than that, basically, but I hope I can say things that are useful. I simply don't know at this stage. Um, to begin with, what happened to me? I had some kind of fall. I don't know how it happened, but it severely damaged my brain, and a lot of work has been done to get me to this stage of recovery. The stage of recovery I'm at is, as I said, I've lost my memory, but and moving around is difficult. But I use a stick at the moment to move around. Um, and what surprises me and amazes me most is that this could have been a lot worse, and there must be many people that are more severely injured, and so have much bigger damage, much more damage to handle and live with. I'm finding this incredibly difficult as it is, and I know that my situation is definitely not as bad as it could be. So, as I've said, walking around with the stick is what I need to do at the moment, but at least I'm able to do that. I'm thinking that I could have lost an arm or a leg or something, or even fingers or ears or whatever. There's so many things that could have happened, so many ways I could have been injured, and I'm extremely grateful to not be as damaged as I could be. Even though the damage is still pretty bad, it's definitely not as bad as it could be. And I really don't understand how people manage to deal with it. Because I'm finding this situation very difficult to deal with as it is. If it was worse than this, it's just mind blowing. And I'm deeply worried, and I think it's so sad that people have to manage to live somehow with a worse situation. And I'm so grateful to be living in England, for example. I could be living in Cambodia or Kenya or somewhere else which is relatively backwards and has much less social support. And there are people living there in those places right now that have injuries as severe as mine, and they're having to survive somehow with very little in the way of support. And it's so incredibly awful, I can't even imagine it. And I feel for these people so much. So, I'm thinking that I'm really hopeful I can make the best of this and make this work. So I'm finding YouTube really good for entertainment, and I'm finding it a good way to possibly communicate with the world, because my communication has been affected very much. I'm basically not in touch with anyone apart from staff. So I have some WhatsApp stuff with friends, but it really isn't very much. So it is just me and the world basically, or in this case, me and YouTube. So I really hope I can make this work and contribute usefully to the world again. Um, I am worried about just being a useless person, disabled, who needs support from the state. I'm just so grateful to have that support, and it keeps on occurring to me how much worse this situation could be if I was in another country. So I'm so lucky to be in England and to be experiencing the benefits that comes with being in England. This is why, of course, there's so much immigration into this country and why immigration is such a problem. And it never occurred to me before why people want to come to England so much. What's wrong with the countries that they came from? But on the social level, social care, that's probably the primary reason. Obviously, there are economic reasons, but the things that can happen to you in life, the range of things is just enormous. And you need to have the support that a country that England can supply. I say you need, but I'm saying you should have it. And if you don't have it, your life could be incredibly awful compared to how it could be. It's just a very strange situation, and I am trying to find ways to make it work. So I don't know if I've said it already because my injury affects my memory, but I've had a brain injury, and quite a severe one, and I'm in a recovery stage at the moment. I say I'm in a recovery stage, but I don't know if that's actually true. I don't know if I will recover much more, but I am very hopeful. I'm in something called supported living at the moment, which means my food is supplied for me, and people remind me to wash, and I have a roof over my head. And so I don't have to worry about much in life. I just live basically, I just exist. And I think it's been more than a year, but I really don't know the details. And it might last for much longer. And then I think that the plan, if there is a plan, is for me to eventually get well enough to move back into my own place. I simply don't know if that's going to be possible. So my life might be here in supported living forever. And that's very scary, very worrying. And I don't want that to be the case, but it's not as if I have a choice. So this is just to let you know basically that life can change on you quite drastically and quite quickly. And you should appreciate what you have. That you can walk, that you can remember things, that you can work and leave the house. And these little things that you may not think about are actually very important and can be taken away from you. And then, of course, you would know what you're missing. So try and appreciate a little more what you have in life that might appear simple and inconsequential. The fact is, when you lose them, as I found, then you know how important these little things are. So life is still enjoyable, I'm finding, and I still want to be alive. I am worried, though, about that changing as I grow to appreciate more all the things that I've lost. But I am hopeful still that I can find a way to make this work. I don't know at the moment what that might be, but I think YouTube is one of the things that's very important. At the moment, I can't taste food, which is deeply frustrating, and I hope that that will return sometime. So I am struggling to find ways to make life work, but I'm still hopeful, and I know that things could be a lot worse as well. So keep that in mind and take care of yourself for very good reason. I never thought about anything like this. It didn't occur to me that life could go this way and I'd have to live like this. But there are lots of people that have to go through a situation like this. And the state support is so vital. And this is where your taxes go and why things are so expensive. Because looking after someone like me in my condition is a very expensive situation. I'm really hopeful that I'll make some progress and contribute to society again and not just be a dependent. But I'm so grateful that the support is there. But I do hope it will improve. We'll just have to see.